Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. After the release of the Beach Peaks and Capybara episode that featured the Waldorf rocket in an insignificant supporting role, I was surprised not to find a single comment mentioning the island Easter egg hidden in the final musical bit. What I did find though was a huge amount of comments requesting a rundown of my old Windows XP computer, and I wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for your participation. You keep me going. The reason why it took me so long to release this highly anticipated episode was that I had to sort out some legal stuff for it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I received my first copyright claim last Friday. 19 years after its introduction, there are still a lot of people using Windows XP on a regular basis. I have fallen away from the true faith of XP in 2012, when I bought the desktop PC that is still in use to this day. Let's find out if the shepherd can bring the lost sheep home. At the first glance, my old Windows XP computer is ticking all the boxes. Vintage open-top design with a personal touch, the right amount of patina, and oh how I miss the soothing sound of the cutting-edge cooling system. It was never connected to the internet, but if it was a person I'm dating, I would still ask for extensive STD testing very soon. Nevertheless, the specs look quite healthy. Service Pack 2, 2.13 GHz CPU and 2 GB of RAM. After using an Echolaler 20-bit, an EMU 1212M and the Fireface 800 that is still my main audio interface today, the computer is now connected to an M-Audio Firewire 410. Quite similar to now, Ableton and Reaper are the weapons of choice, and I was 100% sure that you could move a packed descending sequence of cards as a group to another to-blow column even when they are not of the same color. I recycled the old-school UAD Duo to my current computer, but the Focusrite Liquid Mix is up and running. We can find some other interesting relics of times long past. Editors for the Nord Modular 1 and 2, the Oberheim Matrix 1K and, of course, the Yomox Airbase 99. No audio workstation of that time would be complete without a DDP player for images sent by the mastering engineer, the TTDR offline meter as the nuclear option in the war against loudness, a DVD ripper, Audacity, CDX and loads of malware disguised as virus scanners and registry cleaners. I have no idea what I originally paid for this computer, and it was modified and updated several times, but I found similar and better computers in the local classifieds for €20. You have already heard my old computer used as a sound module controlled by the new one. I forgot how crappy those BFD1 DW drum samples actually sounded. Let's hear some of the other software instruments in this mostly freeware jam. This makes me remember how cheap of a bastard I was back then. My old plugin folder looks like a cross between a toxic waste dump and an evidence room locker, but I'm surprised how usable most of the sounds are. What really blows my mind is that I used this pocket calculator with Megalomania for actual music production for artists who received quite some airplay on the radio. I talked to one of them, the Austrian singer and songwriter Gu Gabriel, and she agreed to letting me go through one of the mixes here in this episode. Thanks for that. We worked together on 2 singles and I produced a remix for one of them. Let's have a quick listen. The remix is on 126 BPM instead of the 120 BPM of the original. It starts out with a big 4-to-the-floor kick I have taken from the August 2007 Future Music CD-ROM. There's some variety of sound ferric saturation on it. It was the winner of the KBR Developer Challenge 2009, so it must be good. The bass in the verse consists of a TAL bassline for the sub and a high pluck out of the native instrument FM8. Both of them are filtered Daft Punk style. Those are the real strings of the original version. Stock plugins, not much to see here, but the Baxter EQ I used to replace the UAD Pultec EQ. We are heading to the drop with a distorted Rhodes sound based on Plug Sound 3, a great old school Rumpler plugin by the way. I'm using the classic chorus here. The main clap, again August 2007 Future Music CD-ROM, had a UAD LA2A on it. I replaced it with a variety of sound Thrill Seeker LA. There's an instance of Massive with a nice shred bass and the typical syncopated percussions consisting of a Waldorf attack and yeah, August 2007 Future Music CD-ROM samples. I used the blue glitch to get some variation into the loop. I am a big fan of TAL freeware synth plugins and the UNO60 is probably the best of them. Nice vintage sounding tones and effects. As the Scrooge McDuck of plugins that I was, I didn't use Autotune, but opted for the even more artifact-producing Caribbean freeware plugin. And I most definitely pushed it too far.
Who we really are, see through this dark night. Yeah, we are not far away, not far, not far.
Bass. The aforementioned shred bass was heavily processed with the blue glitch, edited and processed with even more glitch for that bro step feel. My legal consultant advised me not to show these two return tracks. Feel free to make a guess which plugins are on it. Verdict. That was quite a trip down memory lane. As someone who is constantly working with old Rumplers and VA synth, it blew my mind that even some of the ill-reputed ancient freeware plugs like the Muon Tau can keep up with hardware instruments people pay hundreds of dollars, pounds and euro for. Windows XP wouldn't survive being connected to today's internet for long, but as an offline workstation it still works reliable and stable. If you don't need the latest innovations in digital audio processing, it is an interesting platform even for larger projects. As the music production lifehack freak that I am, I would recommend using one of those old computers as a vintage sound module connected to your contemporary setup via MIDI and aided light pipe, running all kinds of dirty little plugins of yesteryear. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like and subscribe and don't forget to leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show.